morning, my intermittent fasting friends. I am happy to be here with you today. It's been a while. Life is so busy, but I did want to meet with you here today to talk with you a little bit. I've had a few people approach me about the fact that we've been doing this now for a month or 6 weeks, or actually coming on 8 weeks, and that they haven't lost weight. So, first of all, I just wanted to say I hear you, I understand, and I'm with you. Um, and I hope today I can offer you some words of encouragement. Um, I want you to think of our bodies, just to give you an analogy, um, as being on this path towards, fitness as health as we get older. And, um, and I hate to liken this to going towards an iceberg, but eventually we're going to get to the point as we get older that we're going to be at a place where we can't do much to affect our health. So, hopefully you've all read the book Fast, Feast, Repeat by Jen Stevens. And you have some backstory on this about the science. And if you haven't, I encourage you to do that. You can also go online and research intermittent fasting with Jason Fung on YouTube, because there's tons of really good stuff there. But I was thinking about how my big motivations are, I don't want to hit this iceberg of being really unhealthy as I get older. But also conversely, put it to the positive, is I want to be healthy, really old and healthy. That's my goal. I don't have control over all the variables, but I do have control over how I choose to put food in my body. But I also have issues with trauma related to eating and self-worth and what I view myself as, or how I look. So, and I've talked about that in other vlogs that I've done. So I have to be really careful of not going into a place of self-loathing, staying in a place of self-love, making healthy decisions, not feeling deprived, so that I can be successful. So it's a delicate balance for me. But I wanted to make an analogy today for those who haven't lost weight or have lost like 2 pounds, um, about how our bodies act. And for those, especially with chronic conditions or those with autoimmune disease, I hear you. I myself have fibromyalgia, and I have a lot of really, exhausted days where my body does not perform, or my mind perform. The brain fog is horrible. And so I get it. I really, really get it. And I'm here to say, in Spanish we say vale la pena. It is worth the while. And if I were to say to you this, if you were to stay with intermittent fasting this year for a year, and at the end of that year you would be 10 pounds lighter, you would have lost a lot of belly fat, and you would feel a whole lot better, would you do it? Okay. And that answer for me is absolute, unequivocal yes. To lose 10 more pounds in a year, and to continue to get rid of my belly fat and be healthier as I get older, yes. Okay. But I wanted to make an analogy. So let's consider our bodies going towards this iceberg, which is aging, right? And that we can consider ourselves like a car or a boat, okay? And we can be, we're losing, many of us are barges because we have a lot of weight to lose, or we consider ourselves that. But so let's talk about a race car or a speedboat. And let's see here. Sorry, I wrote this down so I was able to remember exactly what I wanted to say. But okay, some of us, like the young men in general, and those who have just bodies who are created that way, Our speedboats are like a sports car, and they're more agile. They are meant to escalate faster. They're meant to stop faster. And if if you're at a in a speedboat and you're going fast, it's you can move faster, you can stop faster, you can turn faster. It's just it handles change better, right? And then there's others of us who, for a variety of reasons, um, are older models. I'm 50, and um, my body doesn't move as fast. My body, I have more pain than I used to, and my metabolism is as high as it once was, and um, and some of them don't have the most powerful engines. We don't move fast. We stop slower. Um, my grandma had a car. It was a 1979 Impala. It was this huge. I'm not even sure if it was an Impala, but it was this huge. Think of an Impala. This huge car. It was a tank of a car. She never took it out except to go to doctor's appointments. My grandpa was only allowed to ever drive it for her. She wouldn't drive herself when she had doctor's appointments. So, and I don't know why I drove it one day, but I drove it only once, and that thing, it was a tank, and it took a long time to take off, but it went really fast once it did. It the handling, I mean, like, you had to use your whole body to make turns. You used both feet to push down on the brakes because it didn't have power steering or power brakes, and it was just a funny car. So, it was beautiful though. I mean, and I think it's probably still in meticulous shape now. Wherever it is gorgeous. And it was beautiful in its own right, right? So, and we want to remember that our bodies are beautiful, and they're made for good things, in spite of the fact that they may not do what we want them to do at the moment. So, let's see here. Okay. So I want us to take a moment and think about the Titanic, and how it was made for. It was this huge ship, and it had very little small rudders, so it didn't turn very fast. And its engines, once it took off slowly, but it also took off once it was up to full speed, which it was full speed. It didn't have the ability to slow down quickly either. So, and for those of us with autoimmune disease, I sort of think that that's the battle that we have, that we get chugging along in one way, and our body gets used to that way. And then to make that turn for our bodies, to start into fat burning and to reduce insulin resistance in our bodies, and to reduce inflammation in our bodies, we truly need to give it a lot of time. And I promise, I mean, we know there's so much research out there, and this is where I want to give you encouragement, that as we lose insulin resistance, as we lose body density and size, our inflammation can start coming down, and that's when the healing can start to happen, and then that's when weight loss hopefully will begin to occur. So, and and we don't just do this for human reasons, right? Certainly my reasons are very supernatural, and I want to be the best, have the best body that God has given me, right? And to be a good instrument for Him to be able to love and serve others. And struggling with my depression, and struggling with my autoimmune stuff, I'm very short-tempered, and it's a constant battle to begin again in that area. But I want to be that for my family. The other option is not an option. So, I encourage you all now. to not be frustrated. We've been overweight for a long time. We've struggled with this kind of body for a long time. And getting it to change course and getting it to start fueling itself differently and to decrease the inflammation for some will take more time than 6 weeks. And I encourage you, oh, please, dear ones, measure yourself so that you can see the difference. I had a dear friend text me last night that she didn't say anything about how much weight she's lost. I don't know, but she said it has made such an impact on her, in her feeling of peace, which wouldn't we all love that, but also that she's lost inches. And so, think about it this way. If you can lose 4 inches around your waist and not lose any weight on the scale, what's the difference? You would have lost a size or two, right? So I don't want you to focus on that scale. Give yourself at least 4 months. And it's worth it. It's worth the investment in this because we know the other way is really not an option. It doesn't work. And this is the way that's the most loving to yourself, right? If we choose, we can truly allow our Lord to love us and to help us appreciate our bodies, in spite of the crosses that we have in them, right? So let's see here. All right. Oh, and the other thing, I have not lost 1 pound. In fact, I'm heavier than I was, since November. And it was before we went to Disney. I have not lost a single pound. But I have lost another inch, 3/4 of an inch around my waist and my hips. So, I'll take it and I'm going to keep going. This COVID thing is no joke and we're all struggling. And so anything we can do to lift our spirits and to make ourselves more healthy is worth it. And finally, I encourage you to do something for yourself that makes you feel good about your body. I don't need any more clothes. So for me, getting a box is not, a box of clothes right now is not, although I have one coming because I forgot to cancel it, but it's more for spring. But I really don't want any more clothes that are my current size. I don't really need any clothes that are more size. But I encourage you all, isn't it time for a pick-me-up? Isn't it time for a new pair of earrings or a necklace or a new lipstick or something that will really make you feel good about yourself? And there is nothing wrong with presenting yourself. In fact, it's holy to present yourself in a way that lifts the spirits of others. And when you feel good about yourself, you can share that goodness with others. And you have a cup that is full of love to share, as opposed to sharing from an empty cup. And that might be a good topic for us for another time. All right, my dear ones, I love you and I'm praying for you all. And I'm always here. Everybody's always here. So let's encourage each other. All right? All right, God bless. And let's enter our second week of Lent well. All right? All right. Take care. Bye-bye.